What's up everyone? We're playing only Super Auto today because we are going to be winning with 0 pets. What you saw in the thumbnail was not clickbait, it's actually the legit run that we are going to get at the end of this. And before we get into this, I have to thank Colywoli and Andynomous for their runs, for inspiring me and helping me to achieve this run. So yeah, the way that this is going to work is that you're going to need a evil book from a bad dog that is going to spawn a great one. If you don't know what a great one does, depending on the level of the evil book and the great one, it deals 6 to 18 damage. And we're going to be aiming for the 18 damage because that's basically how you most easily are able to win. And yeah, it's going to deal 18 damage to the entire enemy team, so hopefully, even though we have an empty team, we're going to have a team wipe, and at the end of the day we're going to have a great one to claim the victory for us. So there are a couple of ways you can go about this. Like you can see right here, I am going for a Wharf build with some mana. Like ideally you want to have some kind of build to go for this with very little investment that you have to make. So I think snipes and anti-scaling are a good way to go about it. Like you'll see later on in the run how we approach it, but for now we're going to be winning our second round. And for this kind of challenge you really want to be winning early on, so I'm very happy for the wins that we have been getting. We are also getting some very good level ups right here in Double Rock. Rock is especially synergistic with the Wharf because it's going to be able to trigger its effect multiple times, especially if both of the rocks manage to hit the Wharf, which unfortunately is not a guarantee. And I think on this round we're actually winning. I was going to say that we lose, but we did have the stats necessary to be that big scaled up team right there. We are going to be putting Gingerbread Man on our stuff, the Wharf and the Rock, so hopefully next time we get a level 1.5 Rock by combining the two that we have, and we don't need to level up to 3 any further. But for now we are going to be claiming yet another victory, I believe. Yup. The mana plus the spooked effect actually is super synergistic, allowing us to deal lots of damage in a single go. But yeah, we're also going to be picking up a Kraken. Kraken is another good pet to go with this build because it reduces the max HP of all the pets by 20%. When you get it up to level 2 it's 40%, and most of the time that is good enough in Unicorn Pack to where it wipes the entire enemy team, as you can see right here. Because Unicorn Pack has very little scaling outside of jump and level up builds, you usually have the opportunity to just wipe the enemy at the beginning of the battle, which in and of itself is very satisfying. But of course we are not aiming for that, we're aiming for the zero of a kind, as I like to call it. So hopefully this time we manage to win. Unfortunately we do not win because we get sniped on our Wharf, and that disrupts our place. Whatever the case though, we are still doing pretty well. We are at 5 trophies on turn 9, so I think we're going at a pretty decent pace. And hopefully on this turn, or I guess it won't be on this turn because we ran out of gold, but relatively soon I'm hoping that we manage to find a bad dog. Because that is of course what we are going to be using to get the evil book and the great one. And also it's actually very synergistic with this build. You'll see right here we pick up a bad dog, we get the evil book, and especially when you have a double Kraken on the team, reducing the enemy team by like I don't want to say 60 because it's not 60, but it's something like that. A big percentage of their max HP, and then you get the great one to wipe the team after and claim the victory just like that. I think it's very synergistic to have. But yeah, we're closing in on the victory. We have only 3 trophies left to go, so it is imperative for us to find the bad dogs that we need. As I said at the beginning of the video, we really want to get them up to level 3, so hopefully that manages to happen sometime. We get another easy victory right here. We don't even need to summon the Great One in order to team wipe them. But yeah, we get super lucky on this shop as well by getting a chocolate, and all that we need to do now is get one final bad dog and we'll have the level 3. So we face a similar looking team to us, but unfortunately they have one more attack on the war, so that means we're most likely going to lose, especially because they have a Fruit of Yggdrasil on their Kraken, which is a little bit unfortunate. Like, if you're going for this kind of build, I strongly suggest that you scale up the attack of your wolf just a tiny bit so it can trigger first. On this one, basically we couldn't do it because we didn't have the spare resources, but whatever the case, I don't think it's going to stop us. And just look at the destruction of this team. Even though they have a pita bread plus high stats, we managed to completely wipe them. And now that we are at 9 trophies, we are going to transition into the final build, which is of course going to be selling all of our pets, including the bad dog, and only leaving ourselves with the book. So I really hope you enjoyed this run. We are going to be setting up for a potential next turn, but I don't think there will be one. But yeah, if you did enjoy, I hope that you like, sub, do all the generic stuff, and I will talk to you next time. Take care.